I really envision my role as an author as being able to pass along what I know to my children in a way that will engage them and will entertain them and will educate them. And so that was really my objective in writing Black Was the Ink. And the inspiration for the story came about because of the Mother Emanuel massacre, which took place in Charleston, South Carolina in June of 2015. And at the time of the massacre, I was on maternity leave with my second son from my job as a civil rights attorney at the US Department of Justice. And I had been at DOJ in the Civil Rights Division for about 5 years at that point, focusing on mostly protecting the civil rights of incarcerated people, including juveniles that were in the juvenile detention system, juvenile justice system, and also investigating police misconduct. So I was already very much like immersed in a world where you see a lot of injustices and racial injustices. But at the same time, I think before the Mother Emanuel massacre occurred, I felt very confident that America was on a forward facing progressive trajectory where we were working on resolving some of our issues and things were going to continue to get better. And that confidence was shaken in that moment because I had never up to that point really witnessed such a violent hate crime of that magnitude. It was something that I felt like I had more read about in history books about the civil rights era and the 16th Street church bombing, where the four little girls in Birmingham, where the four little girls were killed, and all types of violence, racial violence that was taking place in the 1960s and before. But that wasn't something that had really been a prominent thing that I had witnessed in my lifetime. But I had just had a newborn. I had a 1 month old at the time. And my first thought was, if things like this are going to continue to happen, how can I prepare my young child to contextualize it? Because there's a larger history here. This wasn't just an act of violence. This was an act of, white supremacy that has very deep roots in America's history. And so kind of melding my background as a civil rights attorney and my love for my infant son and wanting to prepare him for a world that may not necessarily always continue in a positive direction, but may in fact have cycles where we continue to experience some of the worst parts of our past again. I wanted him to be prepared to understand and contextualize those types of incidents.
This author interview was produced through a partnership of the Grateful American Foundation and WETA. For more author interviews, please visit adlit.org.